No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been down that road before. They're imposters.
Nothing to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast. We are edging in general, and also we're edging closer to the Premier League season starting. We have had the Community Shield, the traditional curtain raiser. Are you excited for it, Will, or are you just...
I'm getting there. I'll tell you right.
Remember now, we do a football podcast, so sell the show. Don't.
I'm getting there. It took a while. I know during the Olympics we were saying I was struggling. I said, Jesus Christ, I can't watch any more of this. I've seen it. I get it. You kick the ball, you try to score.
Yeah.
I'm back now. I think seeing the Community Shield got me going again. And again, it's the same as every season.
Yeah.
Man United signed new players. I go, actually, no, we will be good this time. I actually am ready now. We're going to be better now. We never are, but still, now my brain thinks it, so I'm ready to go again.
Community Shields, Man City versus Man United. We're back to business. Predictable results in the end, I guess, but maybe not. But actually, when I think about it, that's exactly where I thought it was going to go based on their previous meetings in the last few seasons in the league and the FA Cup. Man City dominate the ball. For some reason, they can't break them down. And then, Man United some chances, and they don't put them away.
Yeah, it was a bizarre one because it felt like Man United were the better team, so to say, but City were missing players, and I thought so. I thought they had more chance. United entered rue their missed chances territory in near the end of the first half, but City were missing a lot of players, and as soon as they subbed on some of their better players like Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, instantly they scored, and instantly Man United looked terrible. So tough to tell what you can actually take from this game, where it's like, man, maybe another season of Johnny Evans at the back isn't so bad, and then you realize with 5 minutes to go, it's like, oh no, we're still much further off the pace than it looks.
Yeah, Johnny Evans as a stopgap signing, still playing is. Who's that a failure of? Who's to blame for that? I mean, not Johnny Evans. I'm not saying it's Johnny Evans. I'm just saying, okay, we're in a tight spot. You needed somebody who knows the club, someone who knows what it's like to be a Man United player.
Yeah.
And look, he came back and it was great. It's like when Henry came back that time and scored that goal for Arsenal. If the next season he was like the starting striker, like, all right, well,
that's not good enough. Yeah,
it was a nice story. It's a great YouTube clip, but I mean, really, it's come and go. You can't really still be here. Johnny Evans come back, win the FA Cup. It's like great stuff. He's won it all now officially. Mm-hmm. But now when you go back to the FA Cup, he's getting danced on by Oscar Bob, who's like, I mean, I know we saw this in the Euros with Yamal and other players who could have been his dad, etc. But like, he's in that territory. Like he was never the fleece of foot. And now you got the next generation, after the generation he was already too old for, coming in, being like, watch this, and skip around him. It's just not fair to him. He shouldn't be there.
Yeah. And now look, they're after signing De Ligt, it looks like. But we've seen, even during that game, there was players dropping like flies. They got through the game, but Casemiro went down. I think someone else went down as well during the game. So it's like, you're never too far away from the ultimate injury catastrophe that United seem to be having every season at the moment. So it's like, yeah, he is fourth choice or third choice and he's getting games. But it's like, well, maybe then we should have better and younger fourth choices, But maybe we shouldn't be relying. If we know this is going to happen, maybe we should be planning ahead.
Well, this is it. It's like the backups happen when you least expect it. That's what they're backups, So if he's going to come into a game, any given game, he get danced around or he's not up to it, he probably shouldn't really be there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we went 1-1 in regulation time. Yeah, Man City win penalties. It's obviously not the be-all and end-all, the Community Shield. It's just kind of it's a pre-season game, essentially. Glorified pre-season game. Maybe the king of pre-season games, but a pre-season game nonetheless.
Well, you would think you'd be like, well, it's nice to win, starts you off on the right foot. But I think this is the first one City have won in a while. And generally, it's the teams that lose the Community Shield that go on to win the league, which I don't think is going to happen to United, but it does show how little it actually matters in the grand scheme of things. And even it might set you up for failure because you're like, oh, we're flying it, lads. Don't change anything. We just beat City for a trophy. This is exactly how we play all season now.
Yeah, last 4 in a row, City lost, I think.
Yeah.
And they've obviously won the last 4 leagues. So they won't have that motivation this year.
Maybe they're going to be lax now coming in. They're going to think, what else do we need to do, lads? We have this in the bag.
We finally got that monkey off our back, the Community Shield. They can't take that from us anymore.
The quintuple is on now.
The quintuple is on, of course. That's the motivation they have, the quintuple. I don't know. I think when United were winning, they were smart, Will. I don't know if this was premeditated from the PR team, but they never won 4 in a row because it does kind of foster a sense of hopelessness, I think, for the league. It's like when they win 4 and then they play like children in the middle against Man United and then win, albeit on penalties. But it's like you look at United, who was spending a lot of money over the last few years, and though they signed Cristiano Ronaldo, and then that didn't work, and then they got rid of him, and then they're worse even the next year. Liverpool, well, they're always good, and Klopp gets the best of the players. They're like, oh, he's left, he's had enough, he can't do it anymore, he's sick of it. Arsenal are thereabouts, but I mean, how long till the Arsenal owners say, you know what, we haven't won it, we haven't won anything actually. I mean, Man City is not a normal club. You get the time to figure things out. Everyone else is like, okay, you've had 5 goals at now, Arteta, and almost here and nearly there, but you didn't do it. So once they fall away, once Arsenal get a new manager in and they start to rebuild, it's like, okay, well, now who's gonna come anywhere close? It's just there is a sense of impending kind of doom with this. It's like it's not like the other times, it feels,
Yeah, even say in that game, I forgot Haaland was even on the pitch until he took his penalty. But even again, he's for any other team, if he doesn't perform, you lose. You build everything around him, everything goes to him. Even in that game, it's like they didn't need him. You know what I mean? It was grand. Even when their superstar striker doesn't even get a sniff of a shot on target all game, it's like, yeah, but the others will, and the others will score. Bernardo Silva will just walk onto the pitch and score immediately.
Yeah, they're exactly what you always wanted your team to be.
Yeah, it's
like, you don't want superstars or big egos. You want a team of players, options on the pitch. Dangerous from all positions. But when you see it, it's actually really boring. It
sucks.
It's really soul sucking. It's like, oh well. You always kind of, this is ideally what your team would be, but when you see some other team doing it and then winning exactly how you would like to win, it's like, actually, and it's not because I don't support them. I'm just saying, from a neutral point of view, it's quite boring to see this team where if you have a bad day, it's okay because we have 10 other players and we're a team, we work together. I was like, oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah, I'll take my relying on wonder kids any day. There's something about Garnacho scoring a game because there's a sense of wow, I can't believe he managed that.
Yeah, there has to be heroes and villains in sport. Otherwise, it's just watching a really well-oiled business. That's no fun, unless you're directly involved in the profits, which we're not.
Yeah.
So
feels like even City are getting kind of bored of this. There's been a lot of talk of Pep being like, maybe I'll leave soon. And, there's obviously the charges thing, but we don't know if that'll ever happen. But it feels like surely at some stage, even these serial winners are like, maybe I'll try going to Barca or something, or mix it up a bit. This is dull because what's the challenge? We stomp the league every year.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's something that they worry about. Maybe it's just playing on a good team and winning, make lots of money, get lots of endorsements, making your national team, going to the World Cup. Maybe that's all that's all they need. They don't need any more challenge than that because it gets to a point where it's hard to make that team. De Bruyne might be on the way out. He was talking about over the summer as well that whatever he said, if it's a decision, but for that much money, it's a decision I'll have to consider. He said something very De Bruyne, he came on and he was, I mean, he still has it. Do you know what I mean? He's washed, cooked, finished, but good teams that kind of move these players on. Even when they moved Gundogan on, he still had some to offer, but maybe bring in Oscar Bob or whoever, maybe it's their time to come in, so you never know. You can always hope that when they lose someone like that, they'll get worse. They never do.
Yeah, no. They've lost so many crucial cogs to this machine and it's never mattered. even remember when Cancelo went, people were like, this could be big, you know, he's an important player. Didn't matter a fuck. They're better without him.
Yeah, that summer previous, they sold 3 or 4 players like the Sterling and Zinchenko. Players have been there for a while, you know, and they won the treble then. They just like, you know, slimline the whole thing, get rid of the waste, like, you know, like a good business would, you know, made some cuts and won it all. Became even more profitable than ever before. So I don't know. I feel like this last few seasons though, like the season's coming, I'm not like excited for it all. I'm like, oh, here we go again, you know.
Because you know what, you know how it's gonna go. Like, it's the best case scenario is maybe City will fuck it up, but it's nothing to do with what your club does.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you can win the league if they let you.
Yeah, you wait. It's, you know, they say this. You know, he has to have a really bad day and I have to have my best day ever kind of thing. Which is like, yeah, that could happen in like a one-off game or a one-off round of boxing or something like that. But like, you know, for over 38 game season, they have to have a really bad season. You have to have a perfect season. It's like that lengthens the odds even more, you know. Yeah. So I don't know. It's we're not doing predictions yet, but I mean, anybody who's anybody, if anybody says Man United, if I read an article this year, I think it's going to be Man United this year, which I've seen every year since Ferguson left. Like, I think with Fellaini in the middle and you know, Pogba to the left of one, I think that's the perfect balance there. Like, they always rationalize it. I don't know how you could rationalize anybody. Arsenal, Liverpool, I just don't know how you could look at City and Pep still being there and just everyone else's progression of the last couple of years and say that anything is other than a City win is going to happen, you know? Yeah.
The only thing is maybe with the new Champions League and isn't there a Club World Cup as well, that maybe this is the year where there's too many games for the successful teams and they pick up some injuries and maybe teams lower down the league who are in less tournaments or have been knocked out of tournaments might go up. But like, that's it. There's no actual sense of, I think we've figured City out. No, it's impossible.
Or that like Liverpool are really looking strong, or Arsenal or United look like they have it figured out. No one else seems to have it anyways figured out. Like even Chelsea there before at the end of last season, there was actually a bit of thought like, oh, okay, so it is true. If you do buy enough good players and have a decent manager, eventually you'll figure it out. And Chelsea decided to just blow that whole thing up.
Yeah, if they said fuck that, boring.
I suppose we don't know if they said fuck that, or was it Pochettino who looked at their plans for this summer and said fuck that, I'm out of here.
Yeah. He said, all right, things are going smoothly. I'm assuming more of the same, you know, going forward. And they said, no, we're bringing in a whole new team. Why?
Yeah, that's a good question, Will. Why are they doing this? Maybe this is the most profitable way to move forward as a entity. It used to be qualifying for Champions League or even winning the league was the way. Not anymore. You know, not back in my day.
You suck up all the talent and then you give them away. That's how it works.
Yeah, and like they've done this for years. Like, not to the same extent. I mean, you look at someone like Dominic Solanke. They're going to Tottenham. Like, he has undoubted talent. That's why he was at Chelsea when he was young. Him and all the other players that they stockpiled for years with the express interest of like, we're going to sell them on for pure profit because we got them in when they were young. They'll get to, 19, 20. We'll put them on loan to Vitesse Arnhem, put them in the shop window, sell them on for profit. If they're really, really, really good, they might make to the first team, but most of them will be sold on for profits. And they would get players in later on. Like, Salah and De Bruyne are the two examples. It was like, they didn't really have much interest in making them first team players or building a team around them. So like when Abramovich was there, they had this model and those players would fund the likes of Hazard's, their transfers. So that was their kind of way of doing that. Not that they, I think, ever made a profit till that first year they won the Champions League was the first year they ever made a profit. So look, they've been doing this kind of weird stuff and kind of Russian type stuff for a while. It's never really been a normal club, since Abramovich took over, but they've seemed to take it to new levels under this Clearwater
conglomerate
takeover. Todd Bowley faced entity that is the people that own Chelsea. We were looking at there, they've signed 36 people, not this summer, although it might feel like that, but since Clear Lake took over Chelsea. Which, you think, well, yeah, I mean, was that 2 or 3 years ago? What's the context, Az? Give me some context. Just throwing numbers at me.
What the hell are you talking about? Everyone is saying to their phone.
It's like, all right, relax. Stop shouting on your earphones at us. So for context, we went back to I guess other top 6 clubs. Who do they sign 36 players of? Who's the 36, the first Todd Bowley signing?
I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Sterling or Koulibaly, but it was one of that batch, if you remember.
Ah, yes, Koulibaly. Robbed of his Serie A with Napoli, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, think of where Koulibaly is now, and do you even remember him playing for Chelsea? That's That was the first one. That was what, 2022. That first takeover. Okay, so I looked up another team that you would think of this price signing a few players as well. Man City. 36 signings ago was in the season 17-18. In January of 2018, they signed Emerick Laporte. Now, I don't know how long you've been watching football, how long you've listened to the pod, but I mean, that's the context of that, right? And that's City. City got a lot of players. They sell a lot of players. They get a lot of people in and out. That's the kind of range you're talking about. In terms of 36 signings ago for City was Emerick Laporte.
And I mean, he's had a storied career since then at multiple clubs and countries and different tournaments.
Yeah. You had a few others. Did you look up someone else?
Yeah, so I was curious because what really got me thinking is like, well, Man United buy a lot of players, it feels like. Players are always coming and going. So I looked it up, and now I will say there's a caveat because United did a lot of, they went on a splurge of signing youngsters when Brexit happened to stockpile them up and develop them. So I put a filter on it so that it's over like £10 million because that's basically what Chelsea are doing is like signings. They're not thinking of the academy. They're thinking, get them in. We'll sell them to a first team or we'll use them. So 36 first team transfers ago for Man United was back in 15-16 with Morgan Schneiderlin, part of the infamous midfield with Schweinsteiger.
Yeah. I didn't put that filter on, but I think I kind of filtered I give the old eye test. I filled up the loans. For Arsenal, you go back to 2018, 2019, and it was Matteo Guendouzi.
Yeah, again, had seasons at Arsenal where they were like, this is the future, and then had a bust up and a fallout, and now plays in France, I think.
No, he plays for Lazio.
Sorry. But like he's had, again, a storied career in 36 signings ago.
Well, that was 2018. For anyone who was not keeping track of the year score, it's 2024. So, it gets further and further away every year, that 2018, 2019. It's a while ago. I mean, we looked at Liverpool, who don't sign a lot of players a lot of time. You have to go back to 2015, 2016. It's Christian Benteke, I think, or someone around that time when they signed. So you're talking Brendan Rodgers when they signed 36 players.
When they were bad. they've become a good club in the same time that they signed 36 people. Whereas Chelsea, they did that while we were already halfway through the podcast. Yeah.
So, I mean, they've signed a lot of players in context to other, clubs who signed a lot of players. In comparison with other clubs in England, in Europe, in top leagues, ever kind of metric, the top 6 English clubs would probably sign more players than most, every season. And Chelsea are just this thing where they sign players, every player with a price tag. I saw. Stop buying everyone with a price tag on it. They recently signed Pedro Neto.
£60 million. Where are they getting this money? Well, actually, I said that, but as I was saying it, I remembered they're getting this money from selling their actual academy products.
Yeah. But I guess it's why buy him when you have Madueke and you have Mudryk and you have Sterling? Now maybe, okay, well, he's better than them, right? But you haven't sold them.
Yeah, they're still there.
And they haven't been linked away. They haven't, there's no even word of them being sold anywhere. And they haven't played well enough to be sold anywhere. So where are you going to sell them?
I saw the other day that Lukaku is currently training with the under-23s. I was like, Jesus Christ, Lukaku's still there.
Lukaku, Trevor Shabalala.
Yeah, he's also been banished away from the first team because we signed too many players, so get out.
And Armando Broja as well. Those 3 lads who said, right, lads,
we fucked it.
You've been cut from the extended squad. So you have to go. Wherever we would like to sell others, you have to go. And if you don't go, you're not going to play it all. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
your career's done. Yeah.
Put some feelers out there. It's in your best interest to maybe put a word out. Get your agents in some Italian newspapers, whatever it takes. So they're getting them to do their own recruitment, I think. Or not recruitment. What's the opposite of get rid of the player? Their own selling? I'm not sure.
Departures, yeah. They're essentially telling these lads, get on the blower to Fabrizio Romano. You need these tweets coming out saying, like, Lukaku still looking for a club.
Yeah. Have any of you guys have George Mendes as an agent? You better get on that because you need to move big time.
It's just like I don't know how they can sell these players because they've no leverage at all.
No.
Like if Chelsea come to you or a team comes to you and you're saying like, hey, I want to buy Sterling, and they go, okay, 50 million. They're going to go, no, you're not going to play him. I'll give you 20 million for him. Or it's your choice. You're going to pay his wages for the season?
Yeah. I don't know. If it comes down to wages, getting off the wage of the books, then that's the biggest issue. Because like if you're, maybe not the three lads who've been ostracized from the group, but if you're Sterling on a pretty good wage, I'm sure, and Aston Villa even say, a decent team come in and go, oh, we could definitely use options on the wing, Champions League this year. He's an experienced player. We can pay a third of what you're on. Maybe half. I pushed to half, but we're not you're going to have to cut your wages in half to come play here. He's like, well, I don't think I will actually. No, I think I'll stay here and see on my contract. Or you can pay me off, either way.
But he's probably thinking as well, or players like that are thinking, I've got 12 years of my contract still here. They did that for some reason, all of them. So like all these players, again, like I saw they're trying to get Yao Felix in now. And because of that, now Sterling or Madueke are going to be on the way out. What the hell was the point of Madueke then? Like he's only just there. And for him, he's probably thinking like, why?
He's thinking I really should have tried to take that penalty of Cole Palmer last year. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
That was a bad PR move for old Madueke. But like say someone like Madueke or Broja or Trevor Shabaloa, like they would probably go to even let's say like an Ipswich or someone coming up, because they're young and they're like, look, my career at Chelsea here is, they obviously don't want me. They're kicking me out of the squad, whatever. But like someone like Sterling, who's 29 now, saying, I'm not fucking going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm happy. I've sat on the bench plenty in my career.
I've won multiple Premier Leagues. I played for England. Maybe that dream is over now. Why would I just leave here now when I'm not going to shortchange myself. The only thing is I need to prove people wrong because they didn't pick me for England. Maybe that might be the motivation, but I think he probably looks at the players that are in the squad now and the age profile as well. He's thinking, all right, I'm not going to prove anything to anybody unless I have some kind of ridiculous, second half of my career here at 30. But yeah, I think that's the players that they're really stuck with, the older players who are on big money that they can't get rid of, can't sell to anybody. You can make their life hell, I guess, and make them train them under 23s, but I don't know. I don't know if we're going to go down that road because then, the next players come in and go, that place is ruthless. I don't want to end up there on the bad side of Todd Bowley. It's just that the whole thing seems like completely. Last season looked like they were figuring it out. It's like, okay, well, maybe. Do you know what? There's enough good players there, good manager, and now they're just gone right back to us.
How is their new manager supposed to actually manage this season? There's players coming and going. He has no idea who's at the club anymore or coming in, or again, there's no way, say, Maresca was told that we're actually going for Yao Felix as well the day after they got Pedro Neto in. I'd say his head is still spinning thinking about Neto. Where am I putting him?
Yeah, that's the whole kind of transfer committee versus manager who's in charge of transfers. It's like who's buying them? Is he just going to give them these players and then he doesn't play them? You really should sign. You really should play Pedro Neto because we signed him this year. So, we kind of signed him to play. It's like, well, I didn't sign him. It's like, well, you're just the coach, so you just work here, pal. You just
shut your mouth.
Yeah,
right.
Actually, do you want to actually get the hell out? Yeah, you're done. Don't talk about that ever again.
Go home and just take your 400 grand a week you're going to be paid for the next 8 years. Shut up.
Yeah, and never work again.
Graham Potter is still getting paid 300 grand a week.
Yeah, he'd be a fool to come off that. And I don't know how many more players are going to sign between now and deadline. It's still only the 12th of August, It's
they've got so much time, yeah. It's mad there's no rule of a limit or something. It's like, right, you've hit your quota, that's 8 new players. Because anything over that, surely it's like, well, you definitely can't handle all these new people coming in. No club can.
Yeah, well, I suppose if they get them all out on loan, then it's fine. It's just looking now, it feels like they won't. But how many goalies? They have like 8 goalies.
Yeah, they have a lot.
So they'll go out on loan. Everyone needs a second, third choice goalkeeper every now and again. Put them out on loan. They'll get rid of it somehow. But it's just like, what's the final squad going to look like, and whose idea was this?
Yeah, and what's the plan? Like, what? Like, is there a squad idea? Or like, there's no way there's a style of play they have in mind. Because everyone they sign is just like, they just sign whoever.
Like, there's a chance that Maresca was looking at Chelsea last season, not very carefully, but looking at them going, yeah, they're decent enough. They got some decent players like, Madueke. And now he's here.
Sterling.
And he's like, right, Neto in, Madueke out. He's like, he was one of the reasons I thought, a good young player, I could use him. And I found someone who I wasn't looking at. It just, the whole thing seems a bit mad, a bit off. So, look, we'll wait and see how that goes. But, I don't see them challenging against City. I don't see Man United challenging against City. I was watching the Community Shield. I mean, it just looks. Do we mention Rashford in that game?
We actually didn't. No, he had a bit of a stinker.
He had 2 chances, and of course, the virality of the internet these days. Every clip that goes up, like, we all see it. We all have the same references now. It's like, oh, yeah, I saw it. I saw it with the music. It was hilarious.
I saw the miss with the boing sound effect. He's done.
It's going to be a tough season for him.
Yeah,
because there's a growing group of people there who want him out. Who you think he's the guy. He's one of the problems. He's like Ronaldo. Too big for the club kind of thing. I don't know. I don't see this United team progressing or doing. I mean, they can't do worse than last season. That was the worst season in a few years, wasn't it? I mean, I don't know.
Well, they could definitely do worse. I don't think they will, but they definitely can. I wouldn't say that.
God.
But because again, it's like the signings they've made, and it seems like good. Like, they've signed a lot of good young talents. It seems like 23, 24. We'll have them for a good few years. Get the old ones out. We'll keep the new ones in. But it's just like, you're not going to turn anything around with these lads at day one. I don't know what Xerxes is going to do this season. Like,
yeah. What about Matthijs de Ligt?
Yeah, like, this is the issue though, where it's like, yes, big name signing, must be good player. I haven't a fucking clue. I've only ever seen him in the Champions League here and there, and I've seen him have great games, and I've seen him have a few shockers as well. So it's like, I don't know. Now, it seems like they've got him in for a good price, so it's not like he's on insane wages. He's here now, no matter, like, if he has 3 bad seasons, it's not like, right, well, we're stuck with him for the rest of our time. Seems like they've got a good deal on him. But it's just things like getting rid of Wan-Bissaka, getting a different right back in. It's like, Wan-Bissaka was fine though. Like, it feels like change for change's sake. But
I think that the whole De Ligt thing is very strange. Like, he's been here 3 years now, still signing players from that Ajax team from 2019. I mean, like, regardless of how their careers have gone since, it's like, no, I know him, I trust him. It's like, well, again, and we don't watch it. I don't watch Bayern Munich games. I watch Juve games. All we know is that those clubs don't want them. Like,
for some reason,
a good deal and good contract, and everyone was like, wow, that's a lot of money for Van Dijk, from Southampton. Is he really that good? Like,
exactly,
you've overpaid here. And it's like, you'd rather someone's like, we want 100 million for him, and like being bold enough to ask for that. If Bayern Munich, for 45 million, that's in this economy, in this transfer market,
there's something behind the scenes.
What's wrong with them? That's too good a deal.
Yeah, and I would be worried because, again, I'm not fucking following the Bundesliga, but you always hear that he's injured. You always hear, another injury for the late, and it's like, that's the last thing United need. But again, I'm like, we do a good bit on this podcast, but really I'm uninformed here, because I'd love to know the ins and outs of, like, yep, great sign or bad sign, but I've been burned so many times by big United signings. It's like, we'll see how this pans out. Because again, as well, even if they are good players, United are just career killers for some reason for a lot of players.
Creator star boys, killers of big careers. Put that on the wall.
That's my club, baby.
I don't see them doing this. I mean, this is kind of a bit of a preview pod, but I mean, I don't know. It's just I'm not feeling it. Well, I'm not feeling the Premier League fever yet. I just maybe because it's still sunny out. I'm like, nah, this is winter stuff, when it's dark in the morning, dark in the evening. Saturday, it's sunny. First time all week, it's sunny. That's what it feels like,
Yeah, it's just, there's been, like, the football hasn't stopped. And since COVID, the football has been relentless. That one, when they move the Euros and they move the World Cup, it's been no break, and it's exhausting, especially when it's like the same result every time. City win the league and maybe other trophies too. It's like, I get it. I've seen it. I know how this works. I know it pans out.
Would you say you're becoming complacent with the league?
I don't know, because I think it's easy to say that when your team's not doing well. Like, I'm sure if United were fucking challenging for leagues, I'd be like, I love football. I love the Premier League. But it's when they're not doing well, it is like, sure, this is stupid. What's the point? Why is anyone watching this?
Would you say you are staying aware, having your wits about you with the league?
I would say so. But like, yeah, I know what's going on. I'm not too worried about what's around me, what's coming up.
Well, how about this, Will? Stand up, check your pockets. Missing anything?
Where's my mic gone?
Ha
Give me that back.
You might think, well, that you're safe, that you're actually in a good moment, but in reality, someone could be picking your pocket as we speak.
One of, I think, the best football stories of again, the actual football coming back. I'm like, yeah, stuff like this though. Oh yeah, there's some freaks in this league managing teams.
This is what we need the pod to be this season, I think. We need to focus in on these stories. Like when there's like a 4-3 game between Liverpool and Arsenal. Like, yeah, that was fucking interesting stuff. But did you hear about Stockport's manager and his run-in with the local traffic lady? You know?
Yeah, I'm all for that. We've done all forms of football podcast. We've done just an answer to the games that we didn't watch. We've tried to watch the games and take notes. Now it's time to not bother with the games at all.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that approach to like finding the interesting stories does require a bit of work, a bit of real journalism, which I don't know if we have that in us. But if we see it, we'll report it, you know?
Yeah. And I know from experience, I'm sure it's happened to you too. You come with a funny story you found during the week, you bring it up on the pod, it's done in 2 minutes, dies on its arse, so then you've nothing else to talk about for the next 40 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's just a funny story. Same with this kind of Arsenal one. I mean, we've just kind of given away what it was. Anybody didn't see it, and I'm sure everyone has seen it because, like, you know, again, we all have the same references. For anyone who didn't see it, there was an article in The Athletic a few days ago where at dinner, and I actually saw this as well, Will, it doesn't say when this happened. And people are like, was this at the start? Was this week? Was this, you know, when was this? It doesn't actually put a date on when this happened. But they're at some dinner and Arteta hired professional pickpockets, a team of professional thieves.
I know what you're thinking. Where? How?
In the dinner room, I guess, while Arteta was speaking, to go around and pick the pockets of some of the players. And then at the end, he said, every stand up, check your pockets. Some players were missing phones and wallets. And he said, this is a teachable moment. You know, always be aware. Never relax on the ball. Always have your head on a swivel. And look, he's turned the club around. These crazy tactics are working. You can't fault them out. Like they finished second, very close. They are working. Again, we don't know if this happened last 2 seasons or was this like for the coming season. I don't know. But yeah, he's had a few different ones. Remember the one, the olive tree?
Yes. Yeah.
And the lesson was like, you know, this club, I think that it was like a 150-year-old olive tree. It's like same as the club. You know, you want the club to last. You got to, you know, trim the edges. You got to look after the tree, make sure it doesn't get poisoned. You know, he had the dog called Win, the Labrador to calm everybody down. He's gone the opposite now. He wants everybody back on edge. But before he was like, everybody calm down. Actually, maybe you're too calm. Pick their pockets.
You shot the dog dead.
Yeah. He'll try anything. He'll do whatever it takes.
The dog was just a setup for the pickpockets.
Who do you think the pickpocket was? The dog called Win. The dog you trusted. You fools. Never trust anyone. Another teachable moment. It's insane because, like, what scenario were they in where, like, there was, like, Oliver Twist and his gang of merry thieves going around. Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry, bumped into you there. I was like, what the? Who? Sorry, Mikel. There's a man here. I don't know what he's doing. He's bumped into me twice now. There's like 3 of them and they're all bumping into us. Like, how do you pickpocket out like doing that? Oh, sorry, mate, bumped into you, you know? What was the scenario that they didn't realize they're being like, circled by these 18th century ragged kids?
Oliver Twist kids. I was thinking more like Ocean's 11 team, like a crack team of the best. He hired the best of the best to,
yeah.
get the gang together one last time. We need to pick the Arsenal team's pockets to, I don't know, help them win the league or something. But it's just, could you imagine a worse trait to instill in this Arsenal team than a never relax, something bad is always about to happen attitude?
Well, look what happened when they brought the dog in. Well, he had to fix that. The dog got them too relaxed. They bottled 2 leagues, you know? They got them back on edge.
Like, this is the type of stuff. There's even Pep. There's no way he's doing this. I'd say he read that. And Pep is a known maniac we've seen. I'd say he read that and thought, that's mental. This guy is fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's again, I think the context of when this happened isn't available to us. Maybe this is at the start. Maybe this is at the start of this season. But it is funny to think that after, say, the one 2 years ago against Southampton, they drew 3-3. And then, Arteta's like, they thought that it won. That was his takeaway from that, like, too relaxed. Like, no, that was it. It was the opposite. Well, it's only City boys. They won't come back from this, surely. They've never done that before.
I just love the idea of, like, Odegaard waking up in the middle of the night, like, in a panic, like, I feel like I'm being followed everywhere I go.
Odegaard waking up with Arteta leaning over his bed, going, good, I nearly got you. I'll be back.
It's not a lesson. The only thing it teaches these players is that, like, the world is a dangerous and scary place. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think you can't bring this to a pitch. It's like, okay, I need to keep my... Surely you're already doing that, watching them out, make sure no one tackles me, takes the ball.
I guess I could see how the lesson could translate, but surely an on-pitch drill might make it more, with your muscle memory on the pitch. Because, like, if you're just like in a restaurant and you just keep eyeing up the waiter everywhere you go, this might be another. No, like, honey, I think we need to go. I think this is another Arteta plan. It's like, it's not, okay? It's not. Just relax. I can't. That's what he wants me to do. But we're like a drill on the pitch about, like, get the ball, receive the ball, look over his shoulder. Maybe that would work better. I don't know. I'm not. Look, like I say, he's finished second twice, Will. This club went from 6th and 7th, first time in Champions League. So who are we to argue with his methods? But he's a manager with a unique style, for sure. Another manager with a unique style, Vincent Kompany. You might say former Man City centre-back Vincent Kompany. How dare you? Current Bayern Munich manager Vincent Kompany, I'll have you know. But in between those two things, he was the Burnley manager. I mean, they had an unbelievable season. Again, apparently, I don't fucking watch the Championship. In the Championship, they came up, won it, playing a style that was, like, amazing. Came back to the Premier League with a lot of players I'd seen playing for Burnley before, and it didn't translate. What did translate was his skill as a manager.
Yeah.
And I guess, he's now the Bayern Munich manager on the back of that Burnley season or two. But you might say, well, I wish I had the backstory of this. Wish I had the behind the scenes footage of the mind of Vincent Kompany, his management style, his quirks, his bust ups on the pitch. Well, lucky for you,
yeah,
we are now entering season 2 of what's it called? Burnley Man.
Mission Burnley? Is that what it's called?
Mission to Burnley. Burnley after reading. So there was a clip that's gone up, I think, today, 2 days ago. There's like a sneak peek of this episode, something of season 2 of Mission to Burnley. Is that what? What's the pun there? I'm missing the pun. It's kind of annoying me.
I don't know.
What's the thing that I'm missing?
I was thinking the same thing. Is like, what does that mean? Mission to Burnley.
Mission to Burn. Have you ever heard of that before? Mission to...
Never in my life.
Mission to Mars? Is Burnley Mars in this? I don't know. Mission to Burnley, anyways. It's a documentary, 2 seasons, and here's a clip of Vincent Kompany talking about winners and losers and you know, that kind of stuff. And then a bit of a bust up with Goodmanson of Burnley.
You can't say I want confidence. You can't say I want results. You have to live in a certain way to achieve results.
Don't be hard! You're not gonna get the ball by asking nicely!
And then it's about controlling your emotions. It's being on that fine limit of being passionate and driven but never reckless.
And again, boys! Last time!
People who behave in that way become winners.
Joey, don't fucking test me! Do not fucking test me! I'm enough for the fucking moaning! Enough for the fucking moaning! Play fucking football! What gives you the fucking right to moan about everything? Fucking play! How many times do I have to tell you? Stop fucking moaning! What, you got something you want to communicate to the team? You want to communicate something? You're a big boy? No, you're a big boy. You want to talk?
I just said, can we finish that task?
No, you're moaning about everything.
What have I moaned about today?
Body language is fucking shit. I'm not accepting it. Play! Fucking hell, man. It's fucking life or death. Fucking play!
I fucking know that. I fucking know that.
I better fucking help for this.
A lot of people pointed out that Goodmanson was pretty much Burnley's only good player last season. So it's a very weird peek into how things were going last year, where it's like, I don't know why Burnley would want this footage released, unless they're maybe just thinking fuck Kompany, because it makes them look so bad. It's like the worst. I don't think I've ever seen a worse clip of man management in my life.
Yeah, screechy Vincent Kompany having a go at Goodmanson. And Goodmanson in the clip is like, what are you talking about? Today, what have I talked about? He said, your fucking body language, man, is all over the place. I was like,
so nothing.
And he just stands and looks at him. I was like, who is this for? You know? And like the players are professional players. They can spot a camera. They know when there's a camera around. And if you want to look up the clip yourself, I mean, I'm sure you've probably seen it now. There's like two, like, I don't know, directors or something who come out to the balcony on the training ground.
Yeah.
And then he starts kicking off about this. So, like, there's a point there where he's standing like, I hope he comes at me. I really want a reason for a bust up here.
I'm going to punch Kompany. Yeah, that is very much the vibe it gives off.
Yeah, I mean, Vincent Kompany might be more of an expert on body language than me, but from what I read from that body language, when he was like, your body language is shit, man, this is life and death. And he stood like, oh, like, what? Who are you talking to, like, you know? And then Josh Cullen has to like kind of pull him away, but it did seem a bit performative, you know? And maybe that was the vibe of the club, from the players, the directors, and then you're like, oh, but he goes to Bayern Munich now, and like, you're relegated. You're thinking, yeah, fucking release the episodes. No notes. Get it out there. Let people see what this guy's actually like, you know, shameless self-promoter.
I don't know. It comes across so strange because there's so many points where you're like, all right, that's done now, you know? He's the player, like Goodmanson's acknowledged it. He's like, right, fine, whatever. And he's walked away and Kompany kind of stops. And then he perks up again. He's like, I'm going to fucking rip your head off. It's like, man, relax. Like, I get it. Everyone can hear you. And it gets to a point where it's like, it gives off that like Kompany is he's on a bit of a power trip and he's enjoying, you know, being like the big shouty man. And like everyone being scared of him. Because it keeps escalating up. Whereas Goodmanson is doing less and less. It's like, why are you still getting angry? It's like this is for you now. This has nothing to do with anything that's actually going on.
You want to say to me, big boy? Want big boy? You want big with pants? Talk to me. You want to get big on me, boy? You know?
It's like, what did he want? It feels like he's trying to get Goodmanson to start on him. And he's like, when he doesn't, he's like, hey, look at me when I'm talking to you. It's like, I am looking at you.
Yeah. Well, don't look at me. You know, it's like looking to try and kind of rise him or something. I'm not sure. But very strange clip. How do you think the Bayern players, you know, they've probably had a few training sessions with them now at this point. You know, they see that clip come out and go, if he tries to pull that fucking big dog shit on me, I'm going to split him right in the fucking middle of his skull. Yeah. Like, imagine him doing that shit to Thomas Muller.
Yeah, is Goretzka still on the juice? He'd fucking kill him.
He's like, who the fuck are you? Do you know what I mean?
And even, I was thinking, you know, where he screams like, it's life or death. I was thinking like, All right. No, it's not. Like, again, they were terrible. You got relegated and you got the best job of your life out of it. It's the opposite of life and death.
Yeah, you're failing upwards. It's okay for you.
Yeah.
And and again, say someone like Gunnarsson, who has been with Burnley and has been relegated and come back up. It's like, I know this. What are you talking about? Who are you talking to here? I'm not some like young kid who's coming in here trying to show off. Like I'm one of Burnley's stalwarts here. And you're telling me how important this is. Like, and then you're like, oh, you want a big boy at me? It's like, which one is it? Is it that I don't know? I'm not taking this seriously. I'm trying to be a big man. Like, what is it? As I said, the Bayern players probably not too impressed with that. I don't think that the Bayern players were too impressed with Harry Kane over the weekend.
Look, you can't have your whole career based on... Well, actually, no, I was going to say you can't, have this thing of like, you never win a trophy and then you win one and you don't want to lift up. And I was thinking, this is probably why this happened, is it's built up so much. It's like, well, I can't use it now. I can't lift this one. It has to be a good one or else people are going to keep making fun of me.
That's what I thought as well, because it was at the weekend, Harry Kane won the Audi Cup. I'm not sure how many teams were involved in that competition, but the final was against Tottenham. Bayern, Tottenham, Dyer, Kane, all these stuff. They win it, and Kane's like, no, I'm not touching that. He takes off his armbands, like gives it to
Joshua
Kimmich. And Kimmich has looked like, are you serious? Like, this is really not important. This is just list the trophy. And he's like, no, and he's looking for someone to give him a trophy to. And I mean, people are kind of like, oh yeah, #respect. Some people are like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Just it's a preseason tournament. Forget about it. And it's all this kind of thing of like, oh, it's Tottenham. He's going to lift against Tottenham. But I think you're right there. I think it's like they're going to slate me for this online. This is going to go viral on X if I do this. Closest he'll come to a final. I mean, he just lost the Euros as well. Don't forget, and he was terrible, and people blame him. And I was like, yeah, that's the only trophy you lift. You fuck it. If you're Harry Kane, you've seen it, which I'm sure he has. He's aware of it now. It's like, oh, great. I can't do this. It's Bundesliga or nothing at this point. Bundesliga, Champions League, or else no one wants to see it.
Honestly, it feels bad, but it is. I think it's Champions League or nothing, because even if he wins the Bundesliga, that's not going to stop the people who say you've never won anything. They're just going to be like, yeah, you won the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich, easy. Everyone does that, even though we've just seen he didn't. But I don't know. I think he's in trouble, because I think if he doesn't win the Champions League, people are going to be like, waste of a career. You wasted your time, mate. You shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have bothered.
Yeah, I think anything. He just needs one, because if you're saying like, oh, he never won anything, and you go, what about the Bundesliga? Oh, well, yeah, the Bundesliga, but that doesn't really count like that. You've lost me. It needs to be a one-liner thing. Never won anything. No asterisks. No, oh, yeah, well, that doesn't count because of this. Like,
yeah.
He did, though. Yeah, well, whatever. And especially, the last couple of seasons with, them going close to Dortmund and then losing to Leverkusen. It has a bit more weight to it. I think it'll do it. I'm sure he'd rather Champions League. He needs something like, all right, undisputable. There's nothing you can say about a Champions League win. That's like, well, yeah, Bayern are pretty good, though. It's like, yeah, because of me. There's no way around it. Especially if he scores like 40 goals as well. It's fine. It's more if they win the Bundesliga and he's injured all year. That would be ones like, well, that doesn't count. Come on now. He shouldn't even get a medal for that. Yeah, look, we'll see how Bayern Munich and Harry Kane get on in the new Champions League format as well. So maybe this is a chance. It'll be him and Vincent Kompany lifting the trophy at the end of the season. We'll see.
I don't know. I don't think it bodes well from this season. From that clip I just saw Kompany and how Kompany got on last year in the Premier League, I think they're in big trouble this year. And as well, I don't know. It feels like it's harder than ever for the Bayern Munichs of the world, except for City. It's easy for them. But all these other
that's why it's harder for them. It's because of them. It's why it's harder.
But like, say the new Champions League format, where it's like, okay, now you play like 7 extra games against all these different teams. It doesn't matter about like winning the games or like how hard the games are going to be. It's just the fact that it is 7 more games worth of traveling on all these teams. That's like,
yeah,
good luck winning the league, mate. You're going to be playing Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday every week.
I can't wait. It's going to be good for the people watching. It's going to be good. Yeah, like I say, we'll have our full season preview this Thursday. Ultras only. Yeah. Link in the description's episode. Become an Ultra. $4.50 a month. Not too bad, I don't think.
Nah.
Look, that's my opinion. It's all relative. We're doing a full breakdown, full preview, really red hot takes. There's going to be some stuff there that you're going to be surprised at. You're going to say, I didn't think you can say that legally, but we'll say it, you know.
Normally our previews, we always come back to at the end of the season because I think now 3 seasons in a row, we've brought back a quote from the preview that was incredibly wrong from one of us. Yeah.
And it's funny because the previous previews I've done just kind of winged it and straight into it. Yeah. And you think like, I didn't even I didn't look into anything. I just kind of said stuff that I felt in my heart. And then you come back and you go, wow, that was really specific thing I just said there. So I don't know. Well, I don't look forward to that because every year it gets like, whoa, careful now.
Yeah, I know, even less. Really kind of, I mean, I don't think we'll top Spain won't do anything exciting, impressive, or successful this Euros. That's the most specific thing you've ever said.
And honestly, and it's clear. It's clear that I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't do any research on this. I just said, probably not. But then that's not strong enough. I'll say definitely not. In fact, in any way not. So, I'm going to actually do some research for this. Going to try and not say anything too wild. Unless I have a reason to back it up. So when we come back in, however long a season is, I can say, it's because of this, things change, but this is the reason. Because sometimes when you play the clip back and I just go, I don't know, man, I don't know why I said that. There's no reason there's nothing to back it up.
When we play a clip of us on the show talk from a few months ago, it's literally like listening to two strangers talk. It's like, I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah, no, it's like listening to a deep fake. So I couldn't. It sounds like me, but that's not me. I would never say that.
Maybe this year we might do that for when we come back to look at the preview episode. We'll just get some AI versions of ourselves getting things bang on.
Well, by the time this season comes around, it'll be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
The AI will just be indistinguishable, surely. We'll do a full breakdown of that ultras only this week. For everyone else, we'll be back the next Monday or Tuesday, I guess. And the season will be back on Friday. It's back in 4 days?
4 days, yeah. It's back on Friday. Man United are in the first game, and then
we're back to it. We're back into it.
We're set up nicely for a first day of the season. Man United blunder from Onana, lose 3-0. The chaos begins. The think pieces begin.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to that. I look forward to the hope at the start of the season. That's the best part. But until then, we'll see the ultras on Friday. Everyone else, we'll see you next week. Have a great week.
Good.